The words hit me like a slap across a crowded room. We were mid-brunch with extended family and coworkers when Brandon spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear, "Ashley doesn't actually work. She just spends my brother's money." The table erupted in laughter. Even Matt smirked. I sat frozen as people who knew nothing about my life laughed like I was a punchline. Brandon leaned back, pleased, but I locked eyes with him. He had no idea who signed his paycheck. None of them did, and I was about to make sure he found out. I excused myself, my smile perfectly intact. In the bathroom, I gripped the counter, pure rage. I forced myself to breathe. My name is Ashley Monroe. 6-figure salary. I work in executive strategy, regional operations, 15 branches, including his. Nobody in that dining room knew it. Not my in-laws, not Matt's coworkers, not even my own husband. I'd made the mistake of letting Matt keep his pride when he lost his job. That kindness had turned into me being completely erased. It started 2 years ago when Matt was laid off. I'd supported us quietly. When his family asked, Matt asked me to let him be the face of our money. I'd agreed. My love, my generosity, they twisted it into dependence. They used my silence to mock me. That stopped now. Brandon had always been the golden boy, condescending and loud, despite 6 years with no advancement. He constantly made comments about me talking like a man. I remember the time he asked me for a promotion endorsement. I declined. He'd never forgiven that rejection. Now he chose humiliation. What he didn't know is I'd just gotten significantly more power and a much longer memory. One night, I overheard Matt on the phone. She thinks she's so smart, but honestly, she couldn't survive without my paycheck. My hand froze. Mine was the only consistent income. Matt was lying, telling his brother I was dependent on money that didn't exist. I didn't confront him. I started tracking everything, finances, his spending, the way he spoke about me. I was gathering data. I started noticing unauthorized purchases. When I brought it up, Matt got defensive. Stop micromanaging. The gaslighting almost worked. I just smiled, said, okay. That night, I opened a new private account, redirected 75% of my direct deposit. He never noticed, too busy spending money he thought was unlimited. That was his first mistake. Underestimating me was his second. Then things escalated at work. Brandon was bragging about a corporate connection helping him skip the line. He was lying, using my name. During a strategy meeting, my boss mentioned his application. Do you want to recuse yourself? I can remain objective. I was about to be very objective about his lack of qualifications. My mother-in-law invited me to lunch, an ambush. She called me spoiled. I listened for 20 minutes, then left. I texted HR from my car. Please remove Brandon Monroe from consideration for all internal promotions pending review of reference claims. I didn't elaborate. HR would discover he'd been claiming my endorsement. Fraud. I wasn't sabotaging him. I was simply removing the safety net. That is the difference. Brandon had no idea. His career had just ended. My boss confirmed they were reviewing every reference he provided. They would find the fabricated endorsements. Brandon had left a clear paper trail. Sometimes the best revenge is simply removing your umbrella and letting someone get soaked by the rain they created. Christmas dinner, my mother-in-law gave me a cookbook. How to Please Your Man. You'll need that when the money runs out. She sneered. I looked at Matt. He just shrugged. That moment brought clarity. My husband had chosen their narrative. I was done. Cleaning Matt's office, I found his journal. Ashley thinks she's better than everyone. She's only valuable until I get back on my feet. I read it 3 times. I took photos of every page, uploaded the data, and put the journal back. I was documenting everything. Monday morning, the email arrived. Brandon Monroe has listed you as a professional reference. Please confirm. I replied instantly. I cannot endorse any claim made by Brandon Monroe. Please contact me directly for documentation. Relief. If his career suffered, it was a consequence of his choices. I leaned back. Stop protecting people from the results of their own behavior. Brandon was about to learn that lesson. 2 weeks later, Brandon's performance review landed on my desk. Metrics below target, customer satisfaction declining. His branch was flagged for restructuring. I stopped overlooking the problems. The data spoke for itself. The slow, strategic dismantling of his career had begun. Matt accused me. You've changed. I said, when the person you love stands beside someone who's trying to humiliate you, they've already picked a side. You picked yours. He closed his mouth. I slept in the guest room. I moved the majority of my savings into a solo investment portfolio. I removed myself from our joint mortgage refinance. He never noticed. I wasn't just planning to leave, I was planning to thrive. The corporate mixer changed everything. I wore my power suit, walked in like I owned the place. Brandon saw me, his jaw literally dropped. He was finally seeing me in my context. He connected the dots. Mocking someone with real power, he'd spent months burning his only bridge to the ground. Brandon made his final mistake. He told a joke. Ashley, she's just Matt's wife. Cute face, but no real power. Silence. The senior VP smiled coldly. That's interesting, Brandon, because Ashley is the one who signs off on your branch's budget. She also approves all regional manager promotions. I'd say she has quite a bit of power, especially over your career. Brandon's face went white. The damage was immediate. I filed a formal complaint with HR, misconduct, falsifying endorsements. I attached data and quotes. The system would handle him. Matt exploded. You've destroyed my family. No, Matt. Your family destroyed itself. I just stepped out of the wreckage. I handed him an envelope. Divorce papers. I'm done being invisible, done being mocked. Now, I'm choosing me. I started packing. I was finally free. 3 months later, I was promoted to lead regional strategist. My office moved up 5 floors. Brandon's branch was downsized. He declined a transfer and resigned. He simply became irrelevant. The best revenge truly is massive success. Matt tried one last time 6 months later, claiming he was ready to be a man again. I met him in the lobby. Matt, you needed me to dim my light so you could feel like a man. I won't shrink for anyone ever again. I shook my head. I'm giving the woman you married what she needed. Respect, success, peace. I walked away. I won Corporate Strategist of the Year. Standing ovation. At the reception, I glanced toward the back. Brandon was standing alone. Our eyes met briefly. I raised my glass, not of forgiveness, just of completion. During a podcast, the host asked about dealing with people who underestimate you. I laughed. Sometimes people don't realize the woman they're mocking is the one who pays their salary or determines their career trajectory. I told an anonymized version of Brandon's story. The clip went viral. Karma hadn't just shown up, she brought receipts. I bought a house. A neighbor asked if I was married. I smiled. No, I'm building something for myself now, something nobody can diminish. I sat on my deck. Brandon had forced me to finally choose myself. I'd stopped shrinking, and I'd never been happier.